All right, Marine Tech Mike and Matt here. What are we doing today, Professor?
It's a perfect winter day, almost winter day. We're gonna make a little video to show off how to launch a small boat. But what we're doing is we're standing here in the small boat yard in Anacortes, Washington. This yard's run by Anacortes Waterfront Alliance. And a big tough thing for a lot of folks that aren't millionaires is access to the water. How do you own a boat and launch one and pay mortgage fees and all that? So we're really lucky to be
super lucky to have them. They do our youth sailing. They do rentals for people who just want to, rent a paddleboard in the summer.
Got the dinghy dock.
All the dinghy docks. Our sailing teams for the high school, middle school.
Right.
They're a super awesome organization, and we keep our Marlon down there
On the dock.
First boat.
Yep.
And so that's a good boat.
Awesome. Perfect for crabbing, perfect for going and cruising the islands, maybe a little quick camping trip or something like that.
Fishing, yeah.
Fuel efficient and all that, but we really, over the past couple of years have been wanting to get a sailboat that students can come down and use and really go beat around on.
And we've done it. We've launched it a couple times. It sails. It's the Thor is the Santana 20 is perfect.
Perfect.
But we're making a video for the students mostly, but
Yes.
and other people who want to watch, like how do you launch this? So we can leave it rigged, which is awesome.
Right.
And so it's a pretty easy process, but this video is going to talk us through getting it from the storage lot over to the crane in the water, so you go use it for a day or a weekend, and then reverse the process. Probably never have to bottom paint it because it lives up here.
Lives here most of the time. Yeah. So for our rigging class, we do little projects on this boat. So we actually have an actual boat to do rigging projects on every year. But then also students can go out and actually see what it's all about and see their work in practice, right? And we had our rigging students who all learned how to tie splices. We had one of our rigging students, Jacob, make a Dyneema bridle for this thing so we can lift it with the crane down here, which you will see in the video. And
yeah, it's really cool. It lifts off the keel, but of course there's a little companionway, so there's some extra strapping, but it's totally doable. So we're going to show you, sit back, and we're going to show you how to get this thing in and out of the water easily, inexpensively. And man, I tell you, if I wasn't, over 50, I'd want to be a college student just to have access to a couple of boats to go have fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Community college, the rates are about right. So come check us out and come take the boats for a ride. So
here we go. Let's do it. Okay, Matt. Whoa, what are you doing here, man?
Well, what I have here is an electric powered trolley, which is excellent for moving the trailered boat from our yard right over there to our little launching crane right here. So this really takes all the work out of the job.
It does, and I love it that it's electric. So okay, let's hold that right here. Get the key fob. So on the side of the mule, because we didn't get it out of the hut, there's the plug to keep it charged. And inside this cute little shed is where it lives. So you hit the key fob.
Oh, there we go. Takes a little while. You got to hold her there for a while.
Yeah, hold it. And then in here,
this is where
there's
she
an
lives.
extension cord laying on the ground. It's dark. But common courtesy, every time you come and get it, now the little blue right at the end, right there.
That's it.
Boom. You just plug that in and make sure that the mule is charging. Let's go pick up a sailboat. Okay, so
Small problems are not too bad. How about that? You like that?
okay, anytime you're doing anything with the boat, you have to have the rear stand down there, right? That keeps the boat from popping a wheelie. But B, with a ladder, Jacob, you want to demonstrate, we got a cleat and a line permanently attached to the ladder, and it goes through the block on the boat. And so first thing is, when you need to get up on the boat, get ready to go, you got the ladder secure, you take the ladder off, it stores on the trailer. We'll demonstrate, and then when you get to the crane, of course, you got to put the ladder back on to rig your lifting bridle. And so this thing fits super slick right on the side of the trailer, and you can use the piece of line to secure it.
All right, well now you have Thor on the dolly and you're ready to head down the dock there. Pretty straightforward. The dolly's nice and slow, so it's all safe. But it is definitely handy to have a couple spotters. So again, it really is easiest to do this whole launching process with 3 people. So 2 spotters and then the guy driving here. And then a couple other things to keep in mind as you head down the ramp. Don't hit any bikers or other people, number 1. Also, just try to really keep the boat right in the center of the ramp. You have these lights that are kind of hanging over, and it would be a darn shame to snag one of those on the cap shrouds. That's pretty much it. And basically, you're just going to want to bring her all the way down till you get just before the crane there, and then you can set up to connect up your bridle and make the lift. All right, well, now you have her at the crane. You're going to take the little key card there and swipe it at the control box. The controls for the crane are really straightforward. It's just simply up, down, left, and right. And it doesn't move very fast, so it's quite easy to get used to. But just back the boat up kind of right before the crane there, and then you swing the crane around so that it's going to be kind of centered where your pick point is going to be. And then you can bring the boat back a little bit further to just get it centered right under that lifting eye. At that point, again, you're going to want to block up or use the little trailer jack on the stern, put your ladder on, climb up on the boat, and then attach the bridle to the crane for the lift. All right, so here's the nice little pack that has the bridle in it.
Yes, this will be
Excellent.
somewhere inside the boat.
Yep,
rather than on Matt's desk or my
Yep.
desk. All right, so the bridle has one main loop that goes to the hook. It's got a nice little piece of leather so that it doesn't run through your am steel.
Chafe gear.
Chafe gear, yep. And it's got one main vertical load support that does the bulk of the lifting. So
Plenty adequate. This is like freaking 1/2-inch Dyneema, probably like, 40,000 pound braking.
you could lift the boat with this.
Easily. This is, I think that's 3/8. Yeah, 5/16 or 3/8, so 10,000 or 15,000 pounds.
So very strong. So overkill. You've got one main vertical, one that goes forward to a spot on the boom that will show you, or the mast that will show you, and then 2 thinner lines that go back to the aft cleats that just keeps the boat from tilting one way or the other.
Perfect.
So let's get it hooked up, and then we'll show it after that's done.
Get ready for launch.
Yeah. So there's one main lifting point that's actually bolted into the hull of the boat down here in the cabin. So almost all of the boat's weight is being held by that.
Looks solid.
We need some student involvement to come down and give the boat a little TLC.
Yeah, we need a little bit of a scrub job.
Needs a little
Not bad.
attention,
Not
yeah.
bad.
Okay, so that goes there. The forward one we connected to right here, I believe. Yeah, so that's normally where the boom vane connects to pull down on the boom. So you'll have that disconnected and put this here for now. And then when you go sailing, you'll hook that up instead and you'll rotate it the right way. So
Don't forget to connect your vang before you go sailing.
Yeah, it's
There
important.
you go. You'll
So
figure it out.
Yeah. And you'll notice we have the boom swung over to the port side of the boat for now.
Boom on port side, and then we only had 2 lines on the boat right now. We'll get another one down here, but 3 guy lines just to help you control the boat when you're making the lift. So we have one off the bow, one off the stern ready to go, and our long one off the bow is going to be just coming back to the central stanchion, but you'll want to have a 3rd one on that stanchion. That allows you to get the boat to kind of tilt hard to starboard, I guess, as we're launching.
Yeah, so ideally you'll have someone to man the crane, someone to man the bow, and someone to man the stern so it doesn't twist and turn all over the place. You could do it with less if you get crafty, maybe.
Doable with 2, easier with 3. And those are just spliced to the correct length.
Yep, they've just got
So-
eyes in the end, so you just loop them right over the cleat.
No guessing involved. Awesome.
Great, and then our crane pick point will pull here.
Bam.
And then the trick, what happens since we have a big mast that sticks straight up and we have a crane that's trying to drop straight down onto this pick point, is the crane interferes with the mast. So the trick is you take one of the random pieces of line on the boat, you tie it onto your pick point here. Uh-oh, rigging class, Matt.
Rigging
You
class.
can do a bowline under pressure.
Yeah. Camera flying. Excellent.
Okay, so you use this cleat right here and you just pull it maybe an inch or two out of line, and that'll make the whole boat tilt just a little bit when it's picked so the mast doesn't hit the crane.
Important.
Yeah, so you just give it an inch or two, put it through the self-tailer and call it good.
Well, let's go put her in the air and see how it goes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can you grab that, or move that crane just a little, I guess it says left or something. Little to the west.
Good.
Yeah. Bring the headache ball right about here. She's slow.
I'm just curious. I can't see. Am I?
Yeah, come right about to where my hand
Am I
is.
clear of the standing area?
You're good.
Just making sure.
Yep. Little more. Little more. Little more. Call her good about there. I'll be able to get you there. Okay, now come on down. Down.
Down just a little.
Yep, down about 6 inches. She's a slow crane. Keep her coming.
Is it coming?
No. Press it hard. You got a real.
Yeah, I am.
You timed out.
Oh, we timed out. That's okay. This is why you have the card. We were trying to get a free launch, but we can afford the $3.
All right. Tip number 2. There we go.
Always bring extra quarters to the arcade. That's good. All right.
So the snap hook goes right where that leather reinforcement is on that
Yep, that's your
on that
chafe
loop.
gear.
Okay.
And this, Jacob had this pulled over, and the idea is to keep your backstay off the crane.
Okay.
Do we need to
So-
retie where it's
I'll just tighten her up a little bit, I guess, here.
So the crane's just a couple inches from the back.
Doesn't take much, okay. Well,
What is that blue line, Matt?
a line that we normally wouldn't be using here, Tim.
Okay.
We would have a good line here. So,
All right. Well, we'll have Mike cut that out.
yeah. No, it's fine. It's just demo. It's just pulling it a little bit this way,
Okay.
just to keep it so. Go ahead and take up on her just a bit, Sam. Let her come kind of snug. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna start undoing the ratchet straps.
Yep, go for that. Okay, that's probably good for now. Tim and I will hop off and we'll see what she does when we do a little temporary lift. Yeah, looks like it's
So
quite a
load's
ways.
carried by that heavy line, and then the other 3 are really just to
Keep it off the.
keep her stable.
Right. All right. Hey, check out that sweet drone footage from Mike's awesome drone there. Beautiful day. Gosh, we lucked out on weather. Okay, after you have Thor all connected there with the bridle, and you have the little small strap tied off to the starboard side, and lifted the boat just to give it a test lift to make sure everything looks as it should. Again, what you want is a slight port list, and what that does is keep the crane's wire off and the crane's boom off of the backstay. So from there, pretty straightforward, just nice and slow. You're going to want to swing her out and get clear of the dock. Again, you have those guy lines with somebody on the stern and somebody on the bow, just kind of controlling the boat's attitude there as you swing her out. And then once you have her clear of the dock, just so you're not risking a drop from a big height, it's best to go ahead and lower her all the way down to the water. But here's the trick. You don't want to let it all the way down into the water. If you do that, you'll lose your port list, and then the boom of the crane will hit the backstay of Thor. So the trick is to lower her down into the water, but just a little ways in. You still want to keep tension on the lifting harness so that you have that port list. And then from there, you're going to slowly rotate and swing the boat around to the south there. And as you do so, you can pass down this first the stern line, and then this is where that little midship line comes in handy. You can throw the midship line down next to helpers down on that lower dock, and slowly kind of just walk it back. Again, if you keep a little tension on the crane, it'll keep that port list and keep your backstay from hammering into the crane boom there. So slowly just swing her back all the way until the boat is up against the dock there. And then once you get her up against the dock, you can kind of continue to move the crane a little bit further to the east on that same swing, and then kind of at the same time lower it all the way, and the boat will rest into the water. You'll lose that list, but it won't matter because the crane will be totally out of the way at that point. And that's pretty much all there is to launching it. Again, don't forget to put your bumpers down first to protect that beautiful boat, and then go have fun. When you are going to pull the boat out of the water, it's pretty much the exact same thing, but in opposite. A couple things to keep in mind is first, before you go to actually swipe the key card and start the timer clock on that crane. Again, I think you only get 20 minutes or so. Have obviously the trailer all the way down in place. Have your guy lines already tied to Thor. Bumpers on, all that stuff, so that once you swipe your key card, you're ready to rock and roll. And then first thing before you kind of pull the boat all the way in there, it is nice to have the crane swung all the way to the south there, and this allows, depending on the tide, this will allow you to not have to swing the boat way out into the water in order to get that crane where you want it to make that connection going from the lower dock back up. And then again, reverse of the same process. First thing, just make your connection, have that little short line attached to that starboard pulley there. Give it a little bit of a lift just to pull it out of the water a few inches, again, to get that port list, and then slowly swing the boat back all the way to the north until you're kind of right up next to the dock. Lift her up out of the water, and using the bow and stern guy lines kind of control to keep her from spinning on you, and then up over the edge and over the trailer. And then as you come down on the trailer, of course you want to be going nice and slow. You just want to be sure to line up the keel with the big block of wood there that the keel rests on the trailer. Set her in place, make sure everything looks good, and then go ahead and take off the rest of the tension. Disconnect. Don't forget to put on the ratchet straps. Also, don't forget to have that the trailer jack down on the stern of the trailer, just so you don't accidentally pop a wheelie there out on the end of the dock. And that's about all there is to it. Couple other notes. This video, yes, it was an 8-foot tide when we did this video, and it turns out that an 8-foot tide is kind of like the worst tide to do a lift, because it ends up so that the head of the crane is at the exact height of the top of the mast. So you're risking bumping into the wind chicken. So a slightly lower tide would be ideal. Like a 6-foot tide, the entire boom of the crane would actually just clear the mast of the boat completely while it was down in the water. So as always, pay attention to your tides, and about 6 foot or a little less, 4 to 7 foot, that would be really prime tide height. Even at this 8-foot tide or higher, it's not a big deal as long as you're keeping that port list going on. The tip of the crane will avoid the backstay and the mast and all that, but just kind of a little technique there. Anyways, that's about it.
make sure you, of course, back the boat into the lot there, into the correct spot. Put everything away, clean the boat, and return the little mule to its shed, and make sure everything looks good before you head back to the school.
Oh, baby. Okay, so after you open it with your key card, when you first show up, the little dolly should be in here. Open this, boom, there she lives. That's where it should go back. And importantly, plug it in. Blue cord goes right onto the right side there. Make sure it's plugged in. Good to go.
Awesome.
That's it.
All right.